Hello and welcome back to MCNN. My name is Lyric.
And I'm Pixie.
And we are back with all the news on the series finale of Limited Life.
This week brought a number of storylines on the server to their dramatic conclusion. Grian found a new home with the Nosy Neighbors, but in honor of his fallen friends, he continued wearing his bad boy outfit.
We might be a nosy neighbor now, but I'm going to wear this outfit in solidarity with my lost boys.
However, Grian didn't quite feel at home with his new teammates, given that Pearl and Bigby had already built up a strong partnership before he joined them.
I don't feel that part of the group when you have secret meetings without me.
Well, why are you down the bottom of the tower? It's Nosy Neighbors, you gotta be at the top looking over everybody.
I was doing a Rapunzel thing and no one let down their hair. It was sad.
Martin also started the week off by trying to shore up alliances, something we're sure he'll stick to for the rest of the session.
Team Ties is now Team Tie.
Oh.
How does Team Time sound?
Team Time?
Or bring Scott in on the gig as well. We could be Team Smite.
Smite.
They sound powerful.
I like this. They didn't just make that up on the spot. That's pretty good.
Unfortunately, during the early game, one particular family suffered more than most. Let's go to Void to hear more about how the Clockers clocked out.
Thanks, Pixie. Cleo started out the session by barbecuing all of the remaining cows so that nobody else could use them in the finale. Beat-Up supported this plan, then joked that he'd be teaming up with Etho and betray Cleo and Scar.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna team up with Dad and go against you guys. I'm just Frankie. That was a joke.
Cleo, however, didn't find it funny and reminded him that he had done exactly that in the past. The domestic side of life gave way to more strategic planning as the Clockers finally saddled up the horses from Session 1 and Cleo skulked off with Scott to set Skulk Sensor's traps. While she was gone, the Clocker kids attempted to irritate their neighbors, but only ended up with an exploded horse.
Hello there! Hello there! How are you all doing?
Hello.
They returned home to find Mom still gone, and so irritated by this lack of attention, they decided to use her as target practice.
Turned on me? How dare they turn on me? Ha! My boy. She doesn't know it's just a prank.
Stop being
Call
brats!
the Royal Guard!
Oh, sorry.
When they finally reunited, Scar attempted to swap a shell for Scott's spare time, and Cleo sweetened the deal with more Skulk Sensors. The Clockers then ascended to Skynet, only briefly interrupted by Scar making Beat-Ups laugh so hard he fell off the ladder. Etho tried to TNT them, but the Clockers easily evaded it. He did manage to kill Grian, and the Clockers seized the opportunity to spawn camp him. Grian killed Cleo, but he got right on his shirt, and our favorite zombie rose from the grave to take him down.
God, don't make me take you too.
How dare you?
While they skirmished, Impulse bombed Cleo and Beat-Ups, running Beat-Ups out of time and cutting the Clockers down to 2. The remaining Clockers assumed it was Etho, then guessed it was Grian until they were informed otherwise. Mother and son retreated to their tower, where Scar apologized for being unable to help Cleo in the fight. Another zombie had gotten in his way. The mobs seemed to have it out for them, as a creeper crawled through the window to kill Cleo, bringing her below an hour. Thankfully, Scott sacrificed himself once again to save her day. Scar soon spotted Tango making a run for it and hunted him down. He took credit for the first kill, but not the next one, which ended Tango's run. This is unfortunate, as Scar really couldn't afford to waste time.
Tango! Oh no, he must have taken fall damage. Obviously I don't get the time because that was at his own hand. Why didn't I just turn around and kill him?
A brief team-up with the Nosy Neighbors died with Cleo, when Pearl knocked her off the ladder in pursuit of Impulse.
I mean, I'm right behind you.
Yeah.
It would be very rude.
Also, there's water at the bottom of this trail.
What if I just was to...
Maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe some...
Get your arrows going.
The backstabbing continued when Grian took Scar out of the game, and Pearl's second kill in less than a minute cleared Cleo's clock out of its final seconds. The time is up, and the Clockers have clocked out. Back to the studio.
This may be the end for our favorite juvenile delinquents, but we have one more story to tell this week about the life and times of Sir Sleeps-A-Lot as we ask, where in the world was B-Double-O?
Hi, I'm Anachronistic Cat, and it's time for the final review of what B-Dubs has been up to. B-Dubs began the week at the Rock with the rest of the Clockers, and, according to him, 2 hours and 3 minutes remaining. He brings out his horse Clompers, reminding the clockers that they've had horses stuck in a pit since session 1. Note to self, do not let this group pet sit. Clompers died in an explosion by the Nosy Neighbors, and with him, the interest in spending the session on horseback. B-Dubs was reminded that his family doesn't fully trust him due to his devotion to Dad, but tried to get his brother to believe he only seeks peace.
B-Dubs, I've really come to the conclusion that if Dad's around, I've just given up the fact that you will betray me. But as long as you don't betray me to that scallywag, Tango, or Impulse.
Yeah, never.
Okay.
And I won't betray you for Etho. I will try to stop you both from fighting.
After Scott traded Scar some time, the question of loyalty reared its ugly head once again, when Cleo declared they'd get B-Dubs a clock. This reminded B-Dubs that Impulse had already given him a clock in episode 1. So, Cleo engraved it with Mama's favorite boy in the hopes that that would keep him close. Whether it would be enough to override Impulse's initial gift, or if affection from Etho would lead him to turn against the rest of the clockers, we will never know. B-Dubs never got the chance to betray his family. A fall from Skynet dropped him below the 1 hour mark, and despite escaping many explosions by the skin of his teeth...
Dude, his teeth are like 9 lives for a cat. He just loses one every time.
B-Dubs was blown away by Impulse's bomb. Impulse took B-Dubs' final hour, just like B-Dubs took Impulse's in Third Life. Perhaps a lack of opportunity is close enough to loyalty. But death is never truly the end. The clockers reunite as ghosts, discuss their deaths, and decide to haunt their dear old dad until it's time to watch the final fight. The clocks have all ticked down, and B-Dub's story has ceased, so it's time now to bid this season and this section goodbye. I have been Anachronistic Cat, and it has been my pleasure to keep you apprised of our bossy, missing guy. Now back to the studio.
Thanks, Anachronistic Cat.
Pearl's death game finally got some use this session. Unfortunately for the participants, she had refitted it from a fair game into some easy time for Bigby. Etho, Martin, and Scott decided to play it, but luckily for them, it didn't work quite as expected, and Etho and Martin survived. Etho gained some style points in the process.
Where are we playing here?
Okay, well, I only need 3 people.
Etho, you look like Mary Poppins just then. That is the greatest thing I've ever witnessed.
What's going on?
The bad luck continued for the last of the bad boys and his new nosy friends. Let's go to Bob's to hear more about how their adventures into that good night went.
This session saw the escapades of the Nosy Neighbors, plus their new bad boy, or the Bad Neighbors, as the new alliance flowered. After the trio of neighbors successfully took out the last of the family, the bad neighbors gathered together to take the high ground. Earlier that session, Grian had built a new access point to the MRI-5 from the unused half of the map.
Alright, so, it's not so secret, but that's how I got up there.
Oh. Is there a ladder on it? Can we actually get up there?
Oh, you went up there from that?
Yeah, there's no ladder, so I'll get up there and I'll send a water bucket down.
After a short fight with Impulse, the neighbors used the bridge as a place to take a quick stop and refuel, stocking up on as much bread as they could make.
Right, who needs bread?
I do. I'm in desperate need.
Right, there you go. I told you the bridge will provide.
The Nosy Neighbors set off towards Skynet, and just as they complained that they couldn't seem to find anyone, the remaining Ties and Mean Gills were seen up on the MRI-5.
I thought I saw movement for a second there.
Where is everybody?
I don't know.
Oh, it's an Enderman.
I got excited. They in Froggy Tower or something?
I didn't see anyone there.
Where is everyone? Without the family, the server is a lot empty.
Oh, they're up. They're up there. I see them running. They're going from the passageway you made.
Grian decided that this made a perfect time to take the Nosy Neighbors on an adventure beyond the veil, and he showed them the trick on getting outside the world border.
That's so cheaty. I love it.
So wait, what?
So you do.
The group made their way to the ocean under the assumption that they couldn't be hurt while they were outside the border.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about being beyond the veil. We're already dead. Look.
Wait.
Can't even hit each other if we wanted to.
They planned to stay out there for as long as they could. However, the remnants of ties, along with the mean gills, quickly discovered that while swords and axes might not be able to hit them, projectiles worked just fine. Following this deadly realization, the neighbors fled back within the world border to try and make their escape, but all three of them were shortly killed.
Oh, they are. They're on the outside of the border. They're
in the water.
Wait, no, we can cut them off.
Let's go up on the mob farm and
yeah. Hi.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, we can shoot
Ow,
them.
oh, they can get us!
Wait, guys, we can shoot them. Just take them out.
Oh, perfect.
This is fun.
No!
Push
Don't
them
go too
further,
far out, Grian. You
push
don't
them
want to get
further back into
All
it.
the arrows, it's fine.
This brought Bigby to the brink of death, almost making him the first and only player to die to the timer running out, as he was knocked down to just barely a minute after Martin shot him.
Okay, I have
Grian, it wasn't
I was
smart
very
idea.
wrong. I apologize profusely.
I have 50 seconds left.
I take
I have
back my
50
earlier
seconds.
statement.
50 seconds.
Big, kill me.
Realizing this, Pearl rushed to give him some of her time.
Big, kill me.
50
Baby,
seconds.
Yes.
Kill me, come on. Hurry up.
I don't know
Kill
how.
me, please. Kill me, baby.
This left all three bad neighbors with under 3 hours. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Bobs. Desperate times call for desperate measures, as seen by Impulse and Etho finally taking Martin up on his offer of an emergency alliance against the Nosy Neighbors. The most exciting part of this alliance was, of course, their attempts to recreate Etho's wild ride from earlier in the session.
Wait, hold on, wait, let's do it. Grian, yes or no? Yes, alright,
Yes,
cool, right, let me break
Wait,
the...
Martin,
no, sorry.
Martin, I can make us a boat. We
broke
can
the
just go
boat.
down together.
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'm so certain that we're going to land on top of our
That's
base.
pretty good. That's pretty
I
good.
know, we're fine.
Oh, not too bad.
The water, perfectly safe.
Oh my god, the Mary Poppins
nice.
landing!
Yeah, you still
Yeah,
get
the
Mary
smooth
Poppins.
landing. You see
Oh,
that?
that's so good!
Back at Froggy Tower, Big B was set upon by Scott. Luckily, he had an unexpected advantage thanks to a visual glitch caused by his time beyond the world border.
Hello.
Hi, Bigby. Why are you invisible for me? That's weird.
Am I?
Yeah.
Don't do this.
Ooh.
No!
Not being able to see you makes this difficult.
Oh!
Big B was able to cut Scott down, but Scott wasn't one to accept defeat, and shortly came back for revenge.
Fighting invisible people, kind of impossible. I need to kill Bigby.
After some compliments between Big B, Scott, and Pearl, Scott finally executed one half of the Nosy Neighbors, eliminating Big B from the game.
Speaking of the undead, Etho had his own spirits to confront. Let's go to Basket to hear more.
Thank you, Lyric. I'm here to report about our favorite Debbie Dad Etho. While the Clockers might have passed on, they hadn't moved away from their version of haunting family gatherings. As Etho drifted across Skynet, he realized he wasn't alone. In fact, Scar was trying to reach him. After a sweet heart-to-undead heart and second chances, it was revealed that B-Dubs and Cleo were also listening in.
You know, I regret the time we had together, son. I don't know if you can hear me, but I think given another chance, we would have made it better. You know? Could have been the true father and son duo. I think they can hear me. Yep.
Scar might have been willing to give Etho a ghost of a chance to gain back into his school graces, but that thought soon dissolved, as Scar was soon wishing to kill Etho himself. As Etho had decided he didn't like hunting down the remaining players one by one, so he broke away from the group to chase after Grian himself. When they met atop Skynet, Grian went on the defensive, but Etho had another idea. Instead of attacking, he offered to enact the sword that Grian gave him in episode 1. Grian was quick to agree, relief clear on his voice at not having to fight.
Hey, Grian.
Hey, dude. You wanna play it cool? You wanna play it cool?
You wanna enact the sword?
I do.
Yes.
I want to enact the sword.
Coming out.
Etho implemented a single rule to their allegiance. He would not turn on impulse. With the terms of agreement decided, Etho and Grian met up with Impulse and Pearl to inform them of the new alliance. However, Pearl jumped to the fight immediately, as she did not know that they were working together. Grian alerted her, no, they were friends.
Oh. Hi. We're friends.
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 After some bickering and jokes of pushing each other off Skynet, Etho knocked Pearl off, causing her death and causing her time to come down to just a few minutes. Feeling regretful about his choice, a compromise was made, resulting in an arena fight between the both of them, where Pearl got her revenge.
Oh, that's a crit in the... Oh my goodness.
In the midst of Grian saying his time sat below an hour, his life was cut short by a fatal mistake, locking off Skynet. Despite being above a waterlogged bad boy manor, he just barely missed the water and landed on a block, going the same way as one of his fellow bad boys.
It's getting pretty
Not long after, and now a man down, Impulse, Pearl, and Etho went to engage the Mean Girls in combat. This, however, did not work out well for Etho, as after a dangerous game of whack-a-mole, he too got washed away.
Oh, ouchie. Yeah.
Please fall down. Please fall down. Why won't you fall down?
No, I don't think I will, Etho.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, that's it. I'm out.
This was Basket signing off. Now back to Pixie and Lyric in the studio.
Thanks, Basket. Down to the final four, Pearl and Impulse realized that it was the two of them versus the united force of the Mean Gills. Pearl decided to go down swinging.
Okay, my main goal is just going to be to stop Scott now. I appreciate Scott. He's great and all, but he can't win again. I'm sorry. Scott, I swear! Scott!
What, Pearl?
This is not a fair fight! Scott!
Before we get to the final showdown, I'm sure you're wondering, what about all the other deaths this week? Well, you may have noticed a line of text running across the screen throughout the episode. That's everyone who died. Yep, the whole thing.
Somehow, this week's total managed to beat out last week's by 4 whole deaths, and it's a grand total that we're sure will never be beaten in another life season. Hopefully.
Facing off near spawn, Impulse and Scott tried to sort things out the old-fashioned way, but when Martin showed up, they realized that Scott's time advantage made it pointless. Scott suggested a fair fight, and all three mutually took themselves down to under an hour of time each.
Scott got the others to agree to armorless, hand-to-hand combat, echoing the dramatic ending of Third Life. And so, for the last time, the three friends looked at each other and... Nope, sorry. Martin betrayed them both and killed them quickly and ruthlessly, making him the winner of Limited Life.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Nah, I don't want to play this silly game. I want to do it this way. I want to do it exactly this way. It doesn't matter if you're a mean gill or a bad boy or a neighbor or a clocker. You're all going down. None of these niceties. This is a death match for a reason. Oh, it feels good. Time is delicious.
So that's it. All 170 deaths led here. Martin in the Littlewood coming in with a steel chair and crushing friends and enemies alike. Let's go to Joju for analysis.
Thanks, Lyric. Everyone's out of time, so there's not much to say there, but let's talk about the series as a whole. B-Dub's mentioned a kill-to-death ratio, so let's talk about those a bit. His is actually on the lower end at 3 to 10, with only Tango having a worse ratio at 2 to 11. Cleo, on the other hand, is firmly in the middle, with a 1 to 2 ratio. The top performers, meanwhile, are Martin at 15 to 12 and Grian at 15 to 14. There were 170 deaths this series, with 94 of them being in the last 2 episodes alone. Being allowed to kill anyone certainly helps, but the players certainly held nothing back. Of course, some trends remain impossible to shake. Jimmy once again died first, and Tango, Joel, and Skiz also suffered early fates like they usually do. The top 4, Pearl, Scott, Impulse, and Martin, are also regular contenders for the win. The big surprise is Impulse, who was the only new face at this point in the game. It'll be interesting to see how he does next time, especially without the amazing support Team Ty's offered. Back to you, Pixie.
Thank you for the analysis, Joju. And that brings us to the end of Limited Life, and the finale of our recap series.
We here at MCNN have loved experiencing this right along with you.
The betrayals, the alliances, the really excellent fun opportunities. All of it made the Life series something that we loved enough to devote countless hours to.
We hope that we've been able to help you get more out of the series, and we're so excited to see what you do with it now that it's done.
So from all of us here at the studio, thank you for taking this journey with us.
And thank you to everyone on our team for making this project what it is.
Not to worry though, we're not going anywhere. The Minecraft News Network will be back with other fun and exciting projects in the very near future. But first, we could use a vacation.
So, for the last time, this has been the Limited Life Recap, and we'll see you all in the next life.